Hey, this is Mindy Meyer. I'm the Director of Implementation and Training, and I'm going to go over the basic functions of the AllGuard or the TotGuard infant security solution. You'll have a desktop solution that looks like this. You'll have your floor plans here. If you do have more than one floor that's being protected, down in the bottom lower left corner are the different floors. You can toggle between those. You can zoom in and out of those floor plans as well with your mouse. And then up in the top right corner, there's also a zoom in and zoom out for you to use. When you're ready to do a function in the system, you'll log in. Up in the top right corner is a login, and that will take your username and password. If you're using the LDAP Active Directory interface, you'll use that username and password that'll be maintained by the Active Directory. Once you're logged in, you'll notice that log out is now noted up in the top right corner, and your username is up in the top left corner. Now you can do the different functions across the top, and we'll go through those. I want to show you what we call a dashboard view. Clicking that little icon next to where your hospital name will be will open up a dashboard view. Just give you an overview of what's going on within the system, so you can see how many patients are admitted in the system, information about your tag types. Here you can actually select the low battery, and it'll show you what tags are low battery. You see those red low battery icons. When a tag is low battery, you cannot reassign it to a new patient, so that's a safety feature built into it. And typically once that low battery icon shows, you've got about 3 to 4 weeks of battery life left before you need to replace it completely. The note offline section, if you have any devices that are offline, they will note themselves here, and you can notify your support team. They can come and correct that. Once all those devices are back online and everything's working fine, then those will not be populated here under the note offline section. So that's just a little quick dashboard view. The tag holder is where you'll spend most of your time. When you click this, it's going to take you into your patient list. This will be the list of patients that are ones that you're going to work with to tag or do a different function for that particular tag patient in your system. Underneath the tag holder, under the patient tab, you can search for particular patients by name or any of the profile information. If you are using the HL7 integration, that's where your registration is integrated with our AllGuard TotGuard system, then that patient will populate once they're born or they're registered in the system. So for example, this particular baby bond, you can see the information is here. It's populated through that HL7. Because that HL7 is noted there, that means that that information came over from the registration system. All that I have to do now to assign a tag to this particular patient is I note the tag number. Each of our tags has a unique ID number. I then right click on that patient's name, and I get a population of some menu options, and I'm going to go to assign tag. Once I've clicked that, then I will choose the tag that I'm going to use. The tag number will be listed here, or you can search for it in your search field. Click Next. You will verify that that information is correct for that particular patient you're tagging. Click Next and Finish. And now you'll notice my baby bond is listed here in a dark black font, and there is the tag number. So that is how we assign a tag to a patient in the system. When you're using the HL7, it makes it very easy. So I'm going to just open up my entire list. You can see there's my baby bond. If I want to see the location of these patients, there are little boxes next to their name. You can just click that box, put a check mark there, and it will show you the locations of those particular tagged patients. For example, this is my baby Joey. I can click on that or just hover over that, and it'll show you that patient and where they're at. As they move through that protected area, you will notice that that tag icon will move. It's not always going to be exact locationing, but it'll give you the area that that particular baby is in. There is a select all if you wanted to see all your patients on your floor plan, and there's also a clear all, so you have the option to do either of those. You'll notice my baby James is in a red icon, red font there. That is a low risk or a low battery icon, so you can see there's the low battery. That means that that battery is low, and if I unassign it or discharge it from baby James, I cannot assign it to a new patient. So that tag needs to go over in a low battery bin so that you can get rid of it and put it to sleep, and then you'll get new tags into the system. If you're not using that HL7 integration for your admission process, you're going to use that second tab, Admit Create, and then we're going to go through and we're going to find our tag number we're working with. We then will just enter the patient's name, information. You can list that here, all the information is customizable, so you can choose what information you want to enter when you do your implementation. Once you've entered all those fields, you then click Next, verify what you've entered, and click Next. And that has entered our Mary patient, so you can see it's there listed for me. That is a auto admit that you're going to manually type in. It does not have that HL7 integration, so that means it came through that Admit Create button. The discharge lets you discharge those patients home. You can use that icon at the top and then just find the patient you want to discharge in the list, or sometimes simply just right-clicking on a patient gets you all those function options. You click discharge and that will discharge the patient. One thing to note is that when you discharge a tag, even if it's still on the patient, it will alarm at the doorways, or if you put the tags in your pocket or the trash or the linens, they will alarm at the doorways. So it's really important to keep those tags safe. The edit button lets you edit a profile if you needed to go in. I'm going to right click on my bond, baby, go in and edit. Takes you back to that profile field. We can do any changes that are necessary. We can add pictures here. I'm going to flag this one as high risk by checking that box and entering just a note as to why. I'll show you what that does. Click next and verify. That flags it as yellow, so that's your high risk. This is going to just show your security or your coworkers that this is a high-risk patient. They can watch that a little bit closer. Opening up that profile box will also give you the note as to why that's high risk. That's an option for you to use through the edit field. The sign out transfer lets you sign out or transfer a patient from one protected unit to another, or if you need to go off the floor for a procedure. We want to open up those doorways so that you can move through without setting alarms off. Sign out transfer allows you to move through the doors without taking the tags off. I'm going to right click on my test patient and go to sign out transfer. Choose my time frame that I'm going to be going through the doors, and this is always going to be an estimate, so we'll say the next 2 hours. And then we're going to do sign out as you're leaving, but you're going to come back after the procedure is done. Transfer as you're moving from one protected unit to another protected unit. So we'll do that. So I'm going to choose that I'm leaving labor and delivery. That's my sign out gate. And I'm going to take this patient up to the mother-baby unit. That's my destination. So that's going to open up those doors for that patient to travel through. We verify that that is correct and finish. And now what you'll notice has happened, our test patient is in a green banner with a time bar. We have a sign out down in the lower right screen, and this patient is able to go through those doors you've opened without setting alarms off. This is only going to open those doors up for this one particular test patient. If another patient follows you, their alarm will set off at the doorways. You do have a time frame, so if you don't make it to that destination within that time frame, you will get a sign out transfer alarm letting you know that that patient did not arrive at that time that you've designated. But once you do get to that time, that zone, it will automatically sign that tag in so that that tag will now be safe on that new protected area that you've assigned it to. So that is an automatic process. You can always right click on that patient's information. You can edit that sign out, or we can sign it back in. I'm going to show you what it looks like when I sign it back in. This would be an automatic process for your systems. It will show signed in and the green banner and time bar go away automatically. So now that patient would be on another unit that is able to watch and monitor that tag. The suspend icon lets you suspend any of those tamper tags, the tot tag or the cut band tags. If you need to take them off for a procedure or change the site, we always want to suspend that tamper alarm for that time period. And you can choose the icon at the top, or you could have right-clicked on the patient. We'll choose the tag we're working with and the time frame we're going to be working with the patient and verify. So now for that 4 minutes, 53 seconds, we're going to be able to take the tag off. It will not alarm. We're now going to do our procedure, clean the band, change the band, whatever you're doing with that patient. We then will put that tag back on when we're finished, and we'll look to see how much time we have left on our box. If you only have a minute or two, that's perfect. Let it continue to count down to 0, and then it will begin monitoring of that tag again. If you did have a large amount of time left and you finished really quickly, then we'll ask you to right-click, choose the resume of that tag, verify that's the right tag you're resuming, and now that tag is not in a suspended mode. One thing to note is that while that tag is in suspend mode, even if it's on a patient, it will not alarm if they were to take it off. So suspend suspends the alarms. Alarms that you're going to hear. So occasionally you'll have exit alarms that'll look like this.
Tag
This shows
call
you that the
arrived
tag is
on
through the
second floor
doorways
for
and
patients Smith
the alarm is
Nancy,
happening. So it
room
tells you who and where and what to do to get to them,
1245 in
bring
Marvin.
them back in, and make sure that everybody's okay. There's several ways to accept alarms. The most common is up here on the alarm balloon. We click that and then we choose the alarm note. These alarm notes are pre-populated, so we'll help add those in during your implementation. So all alarms are going to look like this with the red banner and ask you to do a function as to make sure the patient is okay before you clear that alarm. Once that alarm clears, then the screen is back to its normal. And there is a noise that's going off with every alarm. Every alarm can sound different. The exits versus the tamper tags can sound different if you configure that. There's a report section, so this is going to be for administration. If you've got access, you can get into the reports. And then the last little thing I will show you under the 3 menu bar is going to be the third thing down, transport unassigned tags. If you need to take tags off the unit, we can do this without setting alarms off. As we mentioned, the tags are always active, so there are occasions when we need to take tags from mother baby on the 3rd floor down to the 1st floor labor and delivery. So if that's the case, I'll open up those doorways, and now I can successfully take that bin of 10 tags from mother baby and down to labor and delivery for them to be reused on patients, and they won't set alarms off as they go through the doors. The last thing is the help icon. This is the icon that will be there for all of your staff. If they have questions, they can look up information. Reference tools will be there for them to gain access to any kind of reference tools or guides that they need. So that's just a very basic overview of the system. If you've got any other questions or if you'd like a full demonstration, we can set that up. Just let your team know. Thank you.